following show is a paid program.
Family, what's up? On today, we've got national recording artist LLOYD Hughes, musician, vocalist, composer, and producer. Hey, my friend, how you doing?
Hey, Cam, I'm doing good. How are you and your audience doing today?
We're doing great.
Good. I want to thank you for having me on here. And sorry about the technical difficulties, but the show goes on.
The show goes on. Saxophonist. Everybody wants to know, how did a Houstonian get here?
Cam, you know something? This is life. I've been blessed enough to do what I enjoy doing and hopefully mentor some students along the way. Right. I've gotten here. I'm a Houston product. Went to Ebony Worthing here, the South Side, Sunny Side, and of course I had my roots in Third Ward too. So I am a homegrown product here. And then I left and went to Grambling State University and met some great people there and studied there. Then I graduated and found out there's so much more to learn.
Wow, look at that! Look at that! Everybody wants to know little things that people don't know. You're a band director.
I was a band director for quite a number of years at Parker Elementary School, and we had an award-winning music magnet program and had some wonderful students come through there.
Absolutely. Wonderful
students. I see even Mark Simmons, drummer, was Al Jarreau. Beyonce came through there, Parker Elementary. I like Greg Curtis, Grammy winners. You know, it's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people said, first of all, shout out to Grambling. They have hit me up. All of the people of Grambling said we got to do a shout out to them.
Or do a shout out to the Graham fam. That is all right, Cam. That, you know, that HBCU experience is fantastic.
Isn't it something? The great part about you, that I love about you, you always, if it's one person in the room or 20,000 people, they're going to get the best of the best from you. You
know, I think that one of my goals when I play is that we've been here playing and we never know what someone's went through that came in here tonight. It could be they had a hard day at work. It could be like they just need to get away and let off a little steam. And I think one of the things that touched me years ago was I played a party. It was just, just a normal party. And at the end of the night, a young, older gentleman, say in his late 80s, almost 90, came up to me and he was just so moved because we did What a Wonderful World. And he said and had to give me the backstory that this is the song that he used to go on cruises and they used to play every morning with his wife, and it just made him feel so good. And, he was in his late 80s, almost 90. And I said, if I can make one person feel different through the end of the day, I've done my job.
Absolutely. I love the way you do that. So many people, they saw, of course, our pictures together because I follow you and I go. When they say LLOYD Hughes, I got to go see my buddy and go see him perform because I know the talent there. A little thing that I did not know as a saxophonist, you do soprano, alto, tenor, and baritone.
Yes, and I do a couple other things, flute and clarinet, and play a few chords on the piano, but I leave that to most everybody else. It's one of those things, as you go along, you pick up things and you're always asking people, hey, man, that's fantastic. How did you do that? Or what can you do? Because you're working with people that have that expertise,
Right.
and you just want to learn from them as you go along.
Absolutely. Like I said, I love the fact that I see you and your band, Collectors. And I travel to go see you. I always go to the north side, Chicago Bar and Grill. Shout out to them. Shout out to
Shout out
them.
to
I go over to
Chicago.
see them a lot. But I love your band. How did the band come together?
Well, the band, it just didn't happen. It evolved over the years.
Yeah.
We had a couple of core members back in the late 80s that came together. Let's see, the heydays, we had Kenneth Smith on pianos, Mr. Ricky McGowan on bass, Mr. Samuel Dinkins from the Dinky Drum Company on drums, and we had Paula Adams on vocal and Miss Francesca Nakur Garner right on vocals. And we've had a rotating cast of characters lately, but those were like the core people that started it off. We were just trying to do good music and learn as we went along. And really, one of the untold stories is that we were one of the guys who played on the original Motown show when they had it the first 2 years before the current groups had it, and we did the Miller Theater, and that was under the Dinky Drum and the Houston Community Music Center singing. That was cool. And when we left, it grew to what it is now. And we've had a chance to back up fantastic artists on cruise. We've played behind the Manhattans, played behind the Delphonics, played behind the new Blue Notes. Now, I didn't get a chance to do the original Harold Melvin and Blue Notes and Roy Ayers. And it was just, we continue to grow and meet new people and work with people like that.
I love the fact that you, Lloyd, always in collaboration. If somebody says, "Oh, I need a saxophonist," you sitting out in the audience, you go to your trunk and you go get your saxophone and you just walk on up there, no problem. Several times have done that just to help them out.
I try not to keep it in the trunk, though. We don't want to. No, it's not in the trunk. It's never in the trunk.
No, it's not. Somebody brought it to
I got to
him.
keep this in my back pocket right here. No.
There you go. There you go. There you go. But you've helped so many people. A lot of people since COVID has happened, what has the impact been on the music industry? What have you seen locally?
Locally, I've seen that every gig has gotten canceled.
Yeah.
From the event centers, everything that I've had really for the rest of the year has gotten rescheduled. Not just, let's say not canceled, but rescheduled to a later time because of what's going on, so it can be safe. It's just the fact of where we're living in. But we're trying to do something to make this, say a little better. We've done, I call it my COVID sessions, where I'm doing music and working with a lot of great people that are doing projects. A couple of your guests, Sam Brown.
Yes.
My brother Sam Brown, he has a fantastic project coming along, and he'll be having that out soon. It's a mixture of Charlie Wilson, Southern Soul, and dancing. I mean, I love that. You got some of the stuff from Andre Seville.
Yeah.
Andre Seville is working on the project, and I am going to get him to brand me just like he's branding the Cam Here show too. I heard you talking about in that marketing, we sound great, but our online presence needs to be as fantastic as the, live show. Yes. And I've been working with, of course, the band Hard to Find. Yes. When you come see, and we'll do bees, wine, bars, sugars, and all the way around. And that's where I see you, and I'm like, man, that's my man Cam there.
Absolutely.
And also, we have in the fall, I have a good friend of mine. I'm fortunate to work with his project, Mr. Bobby Lyles. Yes. He has you can't wait for this to come out because he has a whole cast, every character's on there that everybody's a leader in their own right. Right. And it's like, and while I'm working on the project, I learned so much from producing in that I have to go back and rework mine because I'm working on my project along with a couple other gospel projects. Right. So, I have to go back and think about, say, hey, wait a minute. It can be that much better if we do this. Absolutely. I like
that you work with all of these great people. And man, you're right. I follow you. So
hey, Cam, I appreciate what you're doing because, your marketing, your brand is excellent. And I've seen you growing from one station to
Yeah,
this station to the TV program,
yeah.
and we're getting the people to just to to follow you. And it's I mean
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. What
I
you know now, you look at 2020 and wish you would have known this years ago.
Yes, 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 yes. You're sure right about that, my friend. I tell you, with COVID and things that are happening during COVID, I like the collaboration that you're doing. I love the fact that you are collaborating and you all are keep going. You keep going. Nothing is stopping you. You're still going. What would you tell people that are local trying to become mainstream? Because you're national. Your product is national. These people that are local always have asked me, Cam, ask each of them, how do they become mainstream? How do they get to that point?
I think keeping yourself open for opportunities and being humble enough in your craft, because there's some great players here, but then there's some great players with giant egos. And man, you around here, you can find somebody sitting in the church on the front row that can do what you do, and just keep yourself open for learning. You never know it all.
Right.
And if somebody's be open for listening, you don't have to take all the advice, but just listen and evaluate it, because it's probably some things you can learn that you need and some things that you can say, well, I don't need to do that. So you keep an open mind while you're working on products. And hopefully they're doing something they like. And during this COVID time, it gives us time to say, well, I have a time to put in my craft and practice. I can learn to be better. Let me make me a list of 5 things that I wanted to do that I didn't have time to do in my craft. Let me see what steps I can take to be better at that. Whether it's just getting there and working on your, the basics, the scales, or just saying, well, I'm going to listen to new people and ideas. And I encourage people when we do come back to performing to go out and support live people and go out and listen to people, even the musicians. I run into some musicians sometimes, I'm not going over there. This is not my kind of music or that. But if you keep your ears open, man, some of these cats that in a different genre stuff, they're doing stuff that you could use.
Being in the business side of it, we know it's the music business. Many times I see so many are in music. They know the music, they know the music, they know the music. The unfortunate part is the business side. They don't understand that part and they lose out on a lot of their money, a lot of their funds. What suggestions would you give them on the business side?
On the business side, I'll have to take a saying from my friend Al Campbell. He says, the music is the fun part. The other part, the dirty part, is the business part.
Yes.
You make sure that you cover yourself with your contracts. You cover yourself if you're a writer. Start your own publishing company. If you write something, before you go and write something, especially for somebody, sit down and talk to them, and let's have a contract saying, I'm going to write this, but I'm going to retain my writer's right, or I'm going to share this with you or whatever, and not do it after. At this time, I have a young niece. She's fantastic on singing and playing and ideas. She's done a program. She's done the theme song for a group that's coming out, a movie called To Be Us, To Work. And it highlights how the Black experience going to work and stuff. And she did the theme song. And I encourage her. I say, hey, look, send off these copyright forms. Let's establish your publishing company.
Right.
Be it BMI, your performing rights organization, be it ASCAP, or be it, SASAC, whichever. Let's do this and get the paperwork done so that you can be, when it comes time to get paid. Because I've known people that have songs played on the radio and they have no publishing company, or they have haven't signed up for Sound Exchange, and they have money out there they aren't collecting because they didn't take care of the business part.
Right.
And one thing that we have, I'm going to do a plug for Jazz Education Incorporated, Summer Jazz Workshop.
Right.
We have classes. We have classes that promote these things, the music business classes, while you're taking that. We had a version this year because of COVID. We didn't do the regular 5-week program with the instructors that have been there for years, Mr. Kelly Dean, Mr. Craig Green, Mr. Clifford Gordon, Mr. Al Campbell, myself, and the office. We did a short version, a 3-week online version. It was a different animal for us, but we made it work, and we had a core group of students that wanted to learn. They came out, and we had music business class, jazz improvisation class, you know, scale class. We had all that going and a arranging class. So, you know, I encourage people to take, when you say, I'm going to do a CD, that's the easy part.
Right.
It's the part after the marketing,
Right.
when they need to see Cam Hill, Andre Seville,
Yeah.
and then start thinking, okay, what am I going to do to let people know I have a product?
Right.
You have a fantastic product sitting on the shelf, but you have to make sure that somebody can do it. And with more programs like yours, hey, I might need to write a theme song to go behind some of Andre's stuff for Cam Hill.
Right. I need it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
I like what you said about that. I love the fact education. I like what you always say. Every time I talk to you and I hear you mentoring other people that you're speaking to that are maybe younger and they're asking you questions, you speak about education, spending money, investing in yourself. Let's talk to people about putting the money back into investing in themselves.
Yeah, look, if you have a product, be it you have a product, a widget you're going to sell, or if you have a music creation, you have to be willing to invest in yourself.
Right.
It's not so much that, you know, you come out and say, you get this stranger, he's going to underwrite, or they're going to underwrite my project. Why should they underwrite it if you're not willing to put in either your sweat equity or your money yourself? Like it's almost put your money where your mouth is. What did what do it say? Talking loud and saying nothing.
Right.
That's what Al Sharpton said.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we spend something, and it also helps that the relationships that you build along the way with the people, because a lot of people that go to the Summer Jazz Workshop or I meet here in Houston, those are the people that help me with my project.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we have a budget and sometimes we have lunch money,
Yeah.
but they are willing to sacrifice to help. And that's why, hey, give back, because it comes back to you. It's that karma.
That's it. And I'm glad you spoke on that. Not everything is monetary. But most people look at it like that. The first thing they say is, how much am I going to get paid? And if they don't get paid, they just miss that opportunity.
Yes, and I'll tell you this, no matter what it pays, if you decide to play a gig for that amount, the small amount, or if you get a budget that's really great,
right,
what happens is you give your all. Once you decide and you commit to it, don't come in there and saying, well, I'm just going to do this and say, you know, no.
Right.
If you commit to it, commit to it. If not, you don't have to do it.
Right. I've talked to a lot of people and I've seen you on a lot of events, you know, like nonprofit events, and and they've always called. The first thing, I have a friend of mine, shout out to Carla Coleman. She says, nope,
yes,
I don't care who it is. I want Lloyd Hughes.
Oh,
she
Carla is fantastic.
On everyone.
I can't say anything but praise.
Yeah, she fights on everyone. And what I mean by that is that I've seen you do a lot of nonprofit in your band, bring your band, knowing they have a certain budget they can, and you work with that budget. You work with them because of what you give. And so many people, thousands of people show up to the nonprofit that you then get more gigs because they see you.
True. I believe, that, if I can, I'm not going to dispute anybody's prices.
Right.
And I believe that you can ask what your market can bear and what you can do for the people.
Right.
But people that have worked with me over the years, like Carla, and I've had a bunch of organizations from the Alpha Kappa Alphas, Delta Sigma Theta, they come to us yearly.
Yes.
So I know I am not changing my price with them because this is somebody who supports me over the years. Even certain clubs like, we at Bees Wine Bar, fantastic. Benita's fantastic person to work for. You have, you have Rudy at the Chicago Bar and Grill.
Right.
You have DA at Sugars. And then years ago, my claim to fame, the Gallant Night, and all these different Wonder Bars. And also, Houston's Red Rooster.
Right.
They have been supporting over me along with the organizations.
Right.
And we keep those guys in the loop because they keep us working.
Absolutely.
And even lately, it's been I got to push back king of the what is it, steakhouses. Here I'm Eddie V's Steakhouse, Perry's Steakhouse,
Right.
Secure Steak. I said, man, I got to stay out of steakhouses. Maybe that'll get me pumped up, you know.
I love that
Hey, Dan,
about
we're gonna
you.
send you over there.
I love that about you. One thing you can do with Lloyd, I have seen that. Give him a call. I said, Lloyd, I need you on this Black Music 360 week. And he said, absolutely, Cam. Whatever day you just tell me, I'm there. You have also collaborated, like I said, with other groups. They will call you the day of or the day before and say, hey, we need some help. And you've always been, stepped in. But that's the blessings, I think. That's the reason of your blessings.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's, people, we have this community here. I have my brother, Kyle Turner,
Yeah.
Joe Carmouche. They call me, and, and Jolando Johnson, Kenneth Smith,
Yeah.
Jaime Casco. These guys, if I need something, I call them at the last minute.
Yeah.
If they can make it happen,
Yeah.
they can make it happen. They come on out. So I say, if they need it, they say, well, Lord, this and this. I say, well, I don't even have to ask how much it pays because I know you're going to give me what
Right.
I want or as close as you can. They're always fair about what they're paid, things like that.
Absolutely. Let's talk about pay locally. Let's talk just a little bit about pay. People are thinking that when you guys go out, you're making $1,000 each when you're walking in that club, and that you just walked in the door. And I try to tell them, first of all, you guys have come in there, you have practiced probably 2 or 3 hours before. Then you have to get there with all your equipment, and you come with 2 or 3 or 4 instruments when you come, I know, unpacking. But people need to understand what the, not the amount, but the tips mean, the joy that's in front of them, the opportunities in front of them, because we're so accustomed not to pay when we walk in the door, not like in New York where you pay $20 to $40, LA, same thing, or Chicago. Even if it's in a restaurant, you still pay.
I agree, because I was in New York and I was there at 8. At 9:30, everything was over. They clearing the house, getting a new crowd in there. It's
Right.
like that,
Yeah.
It's like, that's just for this one show.
Right.
Then you got to pay for the next show if
Yes.
you're there. And here we are playing 3 hours, maybe 4 hours gigs with breaks. And I'm like, wait a minute, they played 90 on. We're here forever.
Right.
You play a gig, you're going to get there an hour and a half beforehand,
Right.
because you don't want to just sit up there and sweating and just go right
Right.
to playing. And if it's a gala, you get there at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the daytime, then you sound check at
Yes.
4, then it doesn't start to 8. So you're around there for a while. So
Right.
this is like 6-7 hour day. And if you're doing, say, the big event like the George R. Brown Hilton Americas,
Right.
you have to have this insurance policy, this $1 million insurance policy.
Right.
They won't let you come in. And if you go there, you pay $20 to park. So you're not going to pay $20 in, $20 out, $20 in, $20 out. So it is you sit and budget all that in
Right.
and say, hey, look, these guys, they have to be here and do this and that,
Right. Right.
So it is the pay around here, we have some that are consistent club owners, but you have to talk to some people and sometimes educate them that,
Right.
look, if you're sitting here, if you're paying the gig, this DJ, this certain amount, $250 by itself, here we are, we have 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to pay? We may not add, we have to think you can't just pay the same amount for a band that you're paying for the DJ.
Right.
Look at the amount of people. And then the DJ, most of the time, the venue has all of the speakers and everything right there. And we are and here it is. We have to come in here and break this, set it up. And then when it's over, we got another 45 minutes breaking stuff down if it's a small engagement. If it's like our gala, like our friend Carla had,
Right.
I got an hour and a half and 2
Right.
other crew members to come and help us out.
Right.
So you
Absolutely.
take all of that to account, and you have to tell people sometimes that, well, I can get this person to that. And I said, well, fine. That's fine. That's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when I come, I want to charge the price to take care of my people, but also I want to make sure that I take care of the customers to say, I want to bring all of the lights out. I want you to see everybody on stage.
Right.
I want you to have the full sound system with subs so that you get a different experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try
Absolutely.
to work with whoever's coordinating everything and say, hey, well, look, let me see your timeline so I can coordinate when we're going to be on stage, when we're not going to be, what crowd, with special presentation. And I tell you what, I like working with you though, because you got the master ceremonies thing down. And we had that. And the last one we did, I was like I said, give it to give it to Cam. All right, give it to Lloyd, give it to Carla. That was fantastic. And then we're here with the parade to coming down. I mean, I love things that are successful like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to take a break right now. We'll be right back with Lloyd Hughes.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we're back with my friend Lloyd Hughes. Hey, my friend.
Hey, Cam.
Man, everybody has been saying hello to you.
Well, I'm going to go back after we finish and do all the hellos since we're talking live
Absolutely. Absolutely. That sounds great. Everybody, a lot of people did not know BMI music writer and publisher.
Oh, yes. For quite a while. And, as a member of NARS with the Grammys, the voting member and everything too.
Wow. That's good. The other thing too is you invest in different organizations that are geared towards music for education.
Oh, I'm glad you asked that.
Yes.
I'll tell you, I have been fortunate over the last year to work with Boynton's Chapel Church in 3rd Ward over on 2 Am Street. Mm-hmm. They have a program over there that's fantastic. They give free lessons to kids.
Wow.
In the neighborhood. Trying to reach out to the neighborhood right over there near Elgin and Scott, and they have free lessons on Saturdays mornings. But because of COVID, we haven't had a chance to do it. I may have to think of that about the online thing, Right. Reverend Davis over there, Pastor Davis is just fantastic. And this year we didn't do the Greater St. Matthew's Baptist Church. They have a fantastic program for kids in the summer too for music. We didn't get a chance to do that. Those are two educational organizations I believe in are real nice for the community. And also the Conrad Johnson Foundation. Yes. From Conrad was so, it's just amazing that after all these years, he has touched so many people. Mm-hmm. He has roots in the Conrad Johnson Foundation where they help kids, teaching them lessons, getting them exposed and bringing in professionals to mentor them. Also along with the Jazz Education Incorporated, where Bubba Thomas started, the founder, and he has, you go back and look through all of the pictures and people they brought in from the classics, from Dizzy Gillespie. I saw pictures of Hubert Laws, Dizzy
Yes.
Gillespie, Arnett Cobb, Kirk Whalum teaching there,
Yes.
Wendell Brooks, man, all of these people, and Kyle Turner, almost everybody you hear playing around went through there at one
Right.
time. If they're from,
Right.
the late 70s on, they came through there, if not just for a little bit. And actually, I was a student there for a few weeks. The education, and I think that if you have somebody you can mentor, be it private lessons or being just, if you have a question, each musician that's young, they ought to approach somebody and say, hey man, can I call you and talk to you and ask you some questions about what you do and how
Right.
you're doing it.
Right. I love
And
that.
it leads yeah, those relationships lead to different things, from working with different manufacturers for horn endorsements, or just finding about products. It's not so much, sometimes you can walk up right to the owner and just ask them questions about their product. It may not be like a shoe endorsement, but you can go up there and say, hey, look, I love your product. Tell me a little bit about it. And they may say, here, try a few of the products on mine. Let me know what you think, because they want feedback to know what they can do to make it better and how it affects your playing and stuff like that. Don't look for anybody to walk up there and say, hey, look, here's a brand new horn because you are you. There's so many people that can play, and it's just relationships you build over the years. One of my first endorsements was because I did a clinic a couple of times with the guy, and I just talked to him when I come by, and I asked, hey man, I like that, let me try it. And he said, look, call me in a few weeks, I'm gonna send you one. Send me one. Then I asked him about 6 months later, what do you want me to do with this? He said, that's yours. I'm giving it to you because you're one of our artists now, And it was surprising to me, but it was like, hey, level where he trusts me. And it was more that I was talking to kids and showing kids different things, not so much how well you play or this and that. It was the relationship that you build. And that works with almost everything, I believe.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, you have given so much to the Houston community, that people, and that's why I'm glad you're expressing about the children. You really give back. Not only do you give back during the school year, but always during the summer. You'll say, Cam, I've got my clinics, so call me, do me on Fridays. And I love that because you give back to the children, because this is something that's not in the schools on a daily basis, okay? This type of clinic that you are giving is one-on-one training many times to the students to get them at the highest level, and many of them have won scholarships to go to college because of that.
Well, I think that's one of the goals. When you sit down and talk to a student, I say, you don't have to be a musician, but use it to get to your advantage. You can use it to get you partial pay on your college scholarship, or sometimes full payment, and that is a plus. It'd be nice to leave, you finish college and you have no education debt at all. Yeah. And we've had a lot of kids that came through Mr. Campbell, Mr. Washington, myself, Mr. Craig Green, that got scholarships to different organizations. And that is great. That's great.
That's right. The last time I went, I shout out to Donna Franklin, KTSU director over there, program director. She called and she said, Cam, you have got to get down here. We've got Conrad, the kids playing, and it turned out to be orchestra. Yes, and it turned out to be that I was able to meet, was it his grandchild or his great-grandson?
That's his great-grandson.
Yes.
That's his great-grandson. He was there. He started at Parker Elementary with us there.
Yes.
And he went on, and man, he's finished now. I think he's in New Orleans now. I am not certain. Let me quit. But he came through all these programs. It's just fantastic.
But to know that was his legacy, his great-grandson, that we're there listening to, and if you closed your eyes, it sounded like he was a professional.
Yes, I think he's on his way to the next step to doing what he wants with his instrument there.
Absolutely. Yes. But I wanted to bring that up of how you all just, give that education.
Oh, it all starts with the basic, because you're saying you're a jazz musician. It doesn't matter. It's still classical. Whatever, the basics are going and working on tone on your instrument, working on technique, scales, and taking slow and learning right, because if you learn it wrong, it's harder to unlearn than it is to just do it right the first time. And you have to sit here and just go through whatever it takes. And if you can use YouTube, but you're missing something if you don't have somebody to guide you along the way. All of us have went to the University of YouTube sometime or another to find
Exactly.
out, okay, let me see how to change this all filter, or let me see, wait a minute, how do you do this on the computer? And I have been doing COVID. I have been on there so much saying, okay, let me see, I like the way this guy plays. Let me study a little bit of his things. So we have to, have somebody to guide us too, because what may seem like it is very hard to us, someone that's done it before, can say, hey, look, just think of it this way or that way, a different way. Instead of playing 8 notes, instead of saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old may get confused saying 1 and 2, and just say apple, 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 apple.
Mm-hmm.
And they can say that in verses saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so you think of it and you have somebody to guide you and help you in those ways.
What would you tell parents, as well as other people, their children have a vision or they have the vision? What would you tell them in a closing? What would you give to them? What would you let them know about music? If they have, even if their children are looking into it, or themselves, they have the dream to go into music.
If it's children, I'll tell them this, that children, don't tell them they can't do something.
Yeah.
You can tell them, if you tell them I have a 7-year or 8-year-old playing the tuba, and then they say, why you have the kid on the tuba? He's not supposed to be able to do that. I'm saying, like, why? Don't tell him he can't do it. He can do it. He may have some difficulties that you work around, or he may have a chair for him to sit in or things like that. I fully agree. If you don't tell them they can't do it, then you leave, then you can do it, or you have a road to going that way. I would hate for a parent to come and say, my mom said that I can't play the drums. If you want to play the drums and you want to apply yourself, you can. And for as adults playing, I always say it's never too old. You're never too old to learn or want to try something. If you want to go and get a piano in your 60s and you want to just learn how to play Amazing Grace, you just do it for your enjoyment. And the more you enjoy it and repetition, do it, and you follow your teacher, you can do it.
That sounds good. How do they get in touch with you as far as your information? How do we find you? Websites.
Okay. Website, LLOYDHUGHES.org. That's that. And then I'm on Facebook at Lloyd Hughes. I really don't know. I am on Facebook and it's public, and LLOYDHUGHES.org, and on the website you can contact me. That would be fine. And Cam, I want to just say, while I'm working here, I also want to give out, right now during my COVID sessions right now,
yeah,
I've got to, say I want to give a plug to, my niece, Destiny Cannon, for working for the productions, To Be Us Productions, her song, Sam Brown for working on his songs, Andre Seville, he's working on his song, and, and also the Collaboration of Praise, a gospel group I'm working with out of Warden, Texas. And my projects that I'm working with, I'm trying to finish too. My Christmas song, that Christmas CD that started a year ago, that I'm going to have, instead of saying this Christmas, it's going to have to be next Christmas.
Right.
And also my smooth jazz one, and let you know that, hey, my friend Bobby Lyle, his project, Ivory Flow, it is fantastic, man. He has like I say, an all-star cast of people on there, from Najee to Kirk Wadham to local Kerry Wilkins, Kyle Turner, man, a lot of people on there, John Calderon, and, Rick Brom, all these people. And I'm like, wow, here I'm here sitting here, and this is Norman Brown. I said, I listen to these people with Miles Davis. I listen to these people with Michael Henderson and all that, and I get a chance to work with them. That's fine. That's good. And I'm going to put in a plug with him when I finish talking to him, because we're actually working on a project. That's why I'm not at my place. I'm over here at his studio getting ready to putting finished touches on things. And I'm over, hey, Cam, we're going to get on there for that. Let you know his interview on for you.
Okay. Sounds good. That is Lloyd Hughes. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Thank you so much, Cam. Yeah,
Always.
Man, it's my pleasure. And thank all the people for supporting us. And I'll be supporting you in any way I can.
Sounds good. Appreciate you. We will At this end, thank you so much to Lloyd Hughes, musician, vocalist, composer, and producer. So all this week, we had Black Music Month. That is it on Black Music Month. Next week, we will have Women Who Win. And right now, we are showing one of those women, Chandra Corelli. Let's look at this.
I start? Where do I begin? I've been hurt so much. I just need a friend. Could it be you?